So today we're going to look at commission, sales tax, and profit. And commission is a fee that is paid to someone who makes a sale, and it is usually expressed in a rate. So if you are like selling homes, maybe a real estate agent, and you earn 5% on the home from helping the seller make the sale. So commission is an important word to know because whoever is making the sale earns the commission, but someone's got to pay it. And so it's usually the customer that's selling the home, or when you're buying a car, you're going to pay that commission that's going to go to the salesperson. And again, it's expressed in a rate, and rates are known as percents. And so those are going to look like your percent sign. And commission, when you think about it, is going to be a part. It's going to be a part of what is made off of the whole. So for example, a real estate agent is paid a monthly salary of $900 plus commission. Last month, he sold a condo for $65,000, earning a 4% commission on the sale. How much was his commission? Then it asked, what was his total income last month? So what was his total income last month? All right, well, there are two ways you can do this formula. You can do it as a proportion method where you put part over whole equals percent or over 100, or you can think of it as the commission is what percent of the sales. And so you would set it up as a multiplication problem. The first thing you need to do is to get your given, and the given is the important words that formulate the equation. So looking at the problem here, I see that he earns $900 plus the commission. By having that, I am noticing that it is equivalent to the total income. But now we need to figure out what that commission is. And so the commission is 4% on the sale. So commission is 4% of your sale of $65,000. Now that I have that, I can set it up. Again, you can set it up as a proportion, or you can set it up in this equation. For this one here, I'm going to set it up into this equation. Commission is means equals 4%. You cannot put percent into this equation. You must change it to a decimal. And to change it to a decimal, you divide by 100, which means move the decimal 2 places back. So that would be 0.04 of means multiply, so times $65,000. Now you just punch in 0.04. Be careful, watch out, make sure that you have it in the hundredths place. 0.04 times this $6,500. When you solve that, what you should get is this commission is going to be $2,600. That is your part. So even if you were to solve it with this, when you do your cross products, you should see that your commission is $2,600. So we have answered the first problem. Now the second problem asks you, what is his total income last month? Well, the total income is equal to your commission, which is $2,600, plus, again, his monthly salary of $900. Make sure that when they give you the salary, if this says weekly and you're asked for a month, you have to do it times 4. But since they tell you $900 a month and we're looking for the month, it's just flat. All right, so $900 plus $2,600, this person's total income for that month is $3,500. Next is looking at your sales tax. And sales tax is an amount that is paid to the government and is added when you make your purchases. And states have different rates for sales tax, and it's usually shown as a percent. So like in California, we pay the 10.5% sales tax. Keep in mind, sales tax is also going to be a part. It is the part that is added to your total cost. So if a sales tax rate is 6.75%, how much tax would Adrian pay if he bought 2 CDs at $16.99 each and 1 DVD for $36.29? Then find what would the total cost be. So for the first question is asking how much tax. So that's what we're looking for. So we're looking for the part. Then at the end, the second question is asking for the total. And so if you have to do the total, then you must add the tax plus your cost. So that's a two-step problem. So let's first figure out what is our tax going to be. So again, your tax is your part, so you can put the X up here, and your cost, you first have to figure out your cost. You have to add up these to get the cost, and then the percent would be 6.75. If you do it with this method, you first need to add up your cost of the items. So if you have 16.99 plus 16.99, which is 2 times, plus your DVD that costs $36.29, you add up those, and it costs $70.27. Now that is just your cost without the tax. So we now need to figure out the tax. This would be the whole. So if you were using your cross products, this would go down at the bottom where the cost is. All right. So now we need to go ahead and plug it in to figure out the tax. So tax equals the cost, which is $70.27 times the rate. And again, if you're using this method, you must put it into a decimal, which means divide by 100, so move it 2 places. That is 0.0675. At this point, you would multiply it so that you can figure out what your tax is. So 70.27 times 0.0675, you should then get a tax of about, and you round it to the nearest penny, so tax of about 4.74. When you divide this, you'll get 4.743, so that's why I kept it at 4.74. In reality, consumer greed, the government's going to round it up, but for the purposes of math, you follow simple rounding rules. Am I done? No. Now I have my tax. I have the part. This guy's been discovered, and this guy's been discovered. At this point, I need to add that tax in the dollar amount to the cost. And what was the cost that we got? The cost is the whole. So the cost down here, which was right there, we said was this guy. So now I need to add to get the total cost, okay, $70.27 plus my tax, which is $4.74. Once I add those together, you should get a total cost, which is what you would have to pay the store, and that would be $75.01. And that would be the total cost. So 2-step problem, you got to find the tax, and then you got to find what you need to pay. All right, this time you're finding the percent of earnings. So before we were looking at money amounts for all the answer, but this time you're looking for actually the rate. What is the percent? So Anna earns $1,500 monthly. Of that, so of this, $114 is withheld for Social Security and Medicare. What percent of Anna's earnings are withheld? So again, you can look at it with the proportion method, or you can think of it as the sentence with what percent of the whole earnings is withheld, which is the part, or you can look at it with the proportion method. So since I did the sentence method with the last two, I'm going to do the proportion method with the next ones. So the withheld, you come back to the word problem and you need to identify which piece is the part. Well, the part is being withheld, and I can tell because it has this right here, is withheld. So is this the part? The of, Anna earns $1,500 monthly. Of, okay, so of that, of what? Of this. So there you go. Where you see the of, that tells you, okay, that's the whole. And then it wants to know what is the percent. So we know we are looking for a percent, which means you must have the percent sign in your answer. All right, so withheld is 114.75 over the whole earnings of $1,500 equals the percent, which is what we're looking for, over 100. Now at this point, you do cross multiplication. So 114.75 times 100, and then 1,500x. Now you multiply these two together, and since it's 100, that's technically like moving the decimal 2 places. And then to get x by itself, since it's multiplied, do division. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Now, once you divide, you should end up getting that x equals 7.65%. The last thing we're going to be looking at today is profit. And profit is the difference between your income and your expenses. It can be shown as a percent profit, or it can be expressed as an amount, so a dollar figure. And in order to have a profit, you again must sell or must have more income than what your expenses are. All right, so for example, a furniture store earns 30% profit on sales. If the total sales are $2,790, what is the profit? What is? So you notice is here the profit. That means we're looking for the part. The next question says, what if this time they earn $10,044? What would the total sales be? Notice that the dollar figures are different. So this is actually two separate questions. So I labeled it A and B. So I'm going to work with just the first question, your first A. And you, again, can work with it in a proportion method, or you can work with it in a sentence method, which I wrote both of them down right here. But I'm going to use the proportion method for this to solve it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the word problem and identify what my parts and my wholes are. So what is the profit? That tells me that's where my variable is, because we don't have the answer to it. I see the word is. So I know that's going on the top. Again, if you're not highlighting writing here, you should be writing the given, which would be this part right here. The whole is if the sales are, so that means what you sold, that was the total sold. And then the percent is 30%. So I have my three numbers to set up the proportion method. So for question 1, okay, question A, it is going to be my profit, which is going to be my X, over my whole, which is $2,790, equals 30 over 100, because it's 30%. Now I know I need to do my cross products. So that's 2790 times 30 equals 100x. Now I multiply the 2790 times that 30 to get the 83700, so $83,700. At this point now I need to divide by 100 to isolate the x. So using inverse operation. And keep in mind when you divide by 100, it is like moving the decimal 2 places because these cross out. So in the end, your X should equal a dollar amount for the units, and it's $837. What does that represent? That is the profit. So $837 was the profit on a total sales of $2,790. Okay, and that would represent, again, 30% profit. Your second question here is, what if this time they earn? So the earned is your part. The percent you're using is still 30%. And this time you have to know, again, what the sales would be. You don't earn more than the sales. There's no one ever going to pay you more than what they're going to charge. So your earnings have to be a part. So right now I know part over whole. So my earnings, this is how much profit I'm going to make. And my sales is my X. And then again, that would be your given, because that's your hint, equals 30% is being used over 100. Now it's the same process. Your cross products. So that's 10,044 times 100 equals 30x. Remember, with proportion method, you don't need to convert the percent to decimal. If you are using these methods, you do need to convert it to a decimal. All right. Now times 100 means add 2 place values. So it would be that. Then we need to isolate X, so divide by 30, divide by 30. Your final answer as far as the total sales that you must sell in order to earn $10,044 in profit, you must sell $33,480 must be done in sales to earn a profit of $10,044, which is 30% of the sales.